welcome you to the studios of Platform Media International, PMI. I'm Joe Ehizode. Welcome to Political Arena. In a few months' time, Buhari would have spent 2 years as the president of Nigeria. It is time for people like us in the studio to take stock of what Buhari have done as the president, and let's see whether it is a pass mark or a kind of service of failure in terms of his production as the president of Nigeria and his service as president of Nigeria. Tonight, I have in the studio to discuss that issue with me. On my left is Nzeadibe. Obi, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And my also usual guest, Ebenezer Badewa. Badewa, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, guys, we're here to assess the performance of President Muhammadu Buhari, the president of Nigeria. The reason why this becomes very topical is that Buhari had come on the wings of change based on the fact that he has campaigned furiously and seriously, that corruption has eaten deep into the bedrock of Nigerian politics, and he came with the program that will change. First of all, you all will agree that before he came, there was every hues and cries across the length and breadth of Nigeria that the corruption amongst the officials, government officials, is so embedded in the system. And Buhari was welcomed almost unanimously as the president. But after 2 years, gentlemen, it's still right to say whether Buhari has landed, or he's still crawling, or he's not doing anything at all. But I'll start with my very good friend, Nzeadibe.
What I can say is that the president came to power with a lot of promise. He received about 18 million votes because Nigerians wanted change. They were tired of the PDP and they hoped President Buhari would bring about the change. By my own estimation, he hasn't brought about the change after 2 years in office.
Great. In a nutshell, Mr. Badewa, up to you. Obi has said he hasn't. Some people will argue that it is too early in the day to see whether whether there will be rain or sunshine about Buhari.
You see, we can't really say he hasn't bring about change, because Nigeria, the way it was going as at 2015, before Buhari took over, we know we are already living in a fake country. So Buhari coming in has given the people hope and he has stabilized things. But the only problem there is that, one, it might move so slow. Secondly, the expectation of Nigerians were just too high. People still want same old. They want to continue to import rice when the boom is no longer there. When the boom was there, nothing happened. So you can't compare when you're selling oil at $100 dollar per barrel to when you are selling it below $40 per barrel. Though now, for some days now, I think it has gone up to 50 something. So we can't really say Buhari has not tried. At least he has kept the country together. The Boko Haram, they are dealing with them in a way. And corruption area, we still have more to see.
Okay, well, I like this because there's difference of opinion amongst my guests here. But let me take you up on that, Mr. Badewa. Buhari campaign trust was corruption. He was going to nip it in the bud, not in the bud. He was going to check it, if not completely eliminate it. But I give you an example, Mr. Badewa, of President Obasanjo. Who introduced the EFCC, put the Inspector General of Police in jail. His senior prefect in school, Sunday Afolabi, he put him in jail, and as one of the man died through that. Also, the Minister of Education, if I'm correct, was in jail. Governors were impeached. I'll give you that. Dari
Plateau State.
Plateau State was impeached because he went to UK without permission. Many people, and even some governors after they left office, Ibori was chased to the UK and got jailed there. How many of them? Former Bayelsa State Governor, Ebenezer, was also smuggled into the country in the middle of the night wearing a woman's uniform. And that's we thought people would bid on that. Forget about Jonathan, because Jonathan is a child of circumstances, as I can call it. But Buhari campaigned on that. As a matter of fact, he campaigned twice before he won as president. He's not an accidental discharge president. He prepared for this. 2 years down the road, no conviction, no major conviction. And you want to tell me that that's a pass mark?
I didn't say it's a pass. I didn't say I'm not giving Buhari a green light, right? But I'm only comparing it to where Nigeria was when the last phase of Jonathan and the way we are today. If things were to continue the way Jonathan, things were going during Jonathan, we're sitting on a keg of gunpowder during
in what sense, sir?
In the sense that, okay, now we're talking about bad road in Nigeria. Was it within these 2 years that all our road went bad? This is 16 years of PDP road that we're talking about, all this bad road. Now, look at even the road that goes to the Port Authority in Lagos, where all the portation and everything is coming in. The road is so bad that even a container that they put on a truck roll over now to kill people. So this is not Buhari making, and this is I mean, we're talking about problem that has been existing for over 20 years.
Yes.
Now we want it to be fixed in 2 years.
Okay, Obi, let's draw from that. Having lived in Canada for a while, what does it take to construct a road?
Well, I'm not going to give you a quick answer to that, but I wanted to say that if I was running for the presidency of Nigeria, I would have a plan.
Of course, Buhari had 12 years to plan.
Trying. So if Jonathan had been wrong on corruption, he hadn't done any infrastructure, he hadn't built any road. As a man who has been waiting for 12 years to become president, the moment you become a president,
you are ready to roll.
You roll out your master plan. Okay. In 2 years' time, we have not seen this master plan. There is no plan to fight. There is no plan. There is no concrete plan to fight corruption. I mean, if you've been thinking about this issue over the last 12 years, and now you have a chance to deal with it.
The first day you are up and running.
You are up and running. For instance, if I was to be the president of Nigeria, the road that leads to the Nigerian Port Authority would not be the way it is. I wouldn't do a better road. The problem is that road, no matter how strongly built, cannot take the number of trucks that ply it. We have seaports in Warri, we have in Port Harcourt, we have in Calabar. If we decentralize the number of ships coming into Nigeria, there will be less traffic on Apapa Road, and that road will not go back from time to time. These are little problems that you don't need high-tech engineering knowledge to deal with. But yet, Nigerians fail to tackle things from the first principles.
Okay, Mr. Badewa.
Yes.
The Minister of Power, Barrister Fashola, who was the governor of Lagos State, I remember him mentioning that a government that cannot guarantee power to its citizens is not fit to rule. And thank God that that ministry was given to him. And 2 years down the road, even Lagos State that he ruled is not guaranteed light, not to talk of my village that's miles away from where he lives. Let's take that for instance.
Okay, you see, one question I want to ask you. When Fashola was the governor of Lagos State, was he a good governor? Did he perform based on record that we can attest to?
We are not judging Fashola.
I'm just asking you. Did Fashola perform very well in Lagos State?
Relatively well.
Relatively well. You see, one thing that we are missing in Nigeria is this. We all complain, but none of us is actually coming out to challenge those people we vote into power.
Okay.
Now, like Buhari that you talk about, when Buhari was running for president, first time in 2003, 2007, 2011, Buhari was his own man. He was his own man running for this presidency.
Yeah.
And in 2011, he gave a speech that he's not going to run, he's not going to go into politics anymore, right? So then he has all the strategy, maybe he has even tear off.
No, excuse me. We are begging.
Listen,
that's begging.
I'm not begging
question.
you. This is 5 political parties that came together to form a political party that brought him into power within 6 months. Within 6 months. I mean, they went home to bring him because they know this is the only man that can save Nigeria for PDP rule.
Okay, Mr. Badewa, let me stop you right there.
Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Yes. I'm not saying Buhari is perfect. I'm not happy with what is going on in Nigeria right now. You understand?
Yeah.
But the point is this. Nigerians themselves, how many Nigerians have been to the Senate?
Okay.
How many of them have even stormed the presidential villa? Okay. Let them form a chain around the place. When the people that kept staying in or possibly they still staying there now, they bring back our guests. Do they receive result or they didn't receive result?
Okay.
We want Nigeria to do the same.
The short answer to that is that decent people in Nigeria don't go for politics.
Who are the decent people in Nigeria? Where are the decent people in Nigeria? Who are the decent people?
Oh, you are writing Nigerians off, sir.
No. Listen. Look at it now. Is it the ammunition, the plane that they use in taking money to South Africa, that they want to use it to buy ammunition?
Yes.
We know who it belongs to.
Yes, a pastor.
It's a pastor,
yes.
And it was supposed to be for ministry. And when the whole issue came up, he said he rented it out. And this is a plane that was bought with the... So who are the honest people in Nigeria? Tell me.
Okay, don't tell me there are no honest Nigerians.
There are honest Nigerians. I understand. But why don't they go into... Why are we complaining then?
Okay, that's not an excuse, sir. That's not an excuse because he decided to run. If you and I decide to run, we're ready to face
let me tell you one thing. What this lady said, Yabo Obasanjo, he said Nigeria get the kind of leader they want. Even while his father was the president of the country.
Mr. Badewa,
so
if we give our leaders excuse to fail,
we're not giving them excuse, but we're not doing anything.
Okay.
We are not doing enough.
Yeah, okay.
We can't just vote for them and fold our hand and be expecting manna to fall from heaven.
Now
they presented budget. Since Buhari has gone there, let's assume we don't know anything when Jonathan was there. Now they be presenting budget. And people, we all hear about the billion that the state government is collecting in Abuja. Where, have you seen where people rose up to go and meet their governor and say, look, enough is enough?
People should not die agitating if there's a responsible government. That's my case.
How do you, listen.
Because we are in Canada here, people don't die on
let
the
me tell you, there is no
government
in the world that want to do anything except the people keep them accountable. No government in the world, even here in Canada.
So because we are agitating
look at when Trump want to cancel the healthcare program that Obama put in place, what happened in the US?
Mr. Badewa, hold on, so let me cut you short.
Yeah.
Mr. Badewa, people agitate. That's why Jonathan was made president. Am I aware of that?
You see? Yeah.
Okay, listen. Now, even Buhari, when he spent 100 days in office in UK for his medical, people walked on the street of Abuja. Some people were shot at. So don't tell me that
is not enough. That is not the point. They only calling Buhari to come and rule, right? We are talking about the infrastructure in the country. What are people doing about it?
A responsible government should not wait for people to...
No, all over the world, there is nowhere any government want to serve the people, except the people keep them...
No, we are diverting, we are digressing. Hold on, sir, hold on.
Wait
we are
a
digressing
minute.
for the...
See what is happening in Canada here now. The Prime Minister went on vacation. The Minister of Finance, right? He passed a bill. Now they realize that the company that he passed the bill for, he has a share in the bill. When they hold him accountable, he said he's going to sell all the share.
Don't tell me Nigerians...
About 5 million...
Excuse me,
yes,
sir. Don't tell me Nigerians are not holding their leaders accountable.
Okay.
They do. Well, let's give them that credit. The minister, the Inspector General of Police, you know the scandal that's surrounding him. Governor Rocha Sokorocha, the reaction of citizens of Imo State when they decided to make a statue of President Zuma of South Africa was very unpopular, and the man did not listen. This senator from Kogi State, the dancer, what's his name?
Dino.
Yeah, Dino Malai, has serious opposition. Nobody listens to opposition in Nigeria because there's a culture of impunity. Don't tell me Nigeria not demonstrate. Now, let's go to Buhari's scorecard. Okay, let's go to...
Yeah, let me rate him on a general basis.
Yeah.
I'll rate him in different categories. I'll rate him on the economy.
Yeah.
I'll rate him on fighting corruption. And
Defense.
I'll also on peace and security.
Yeah.
I'll also rate him on national cohesion, the ability to hold the nation together. Now, in terms of the economy, he has done poorly.
Okay.
Now, our economy has been in recession since 2015. It's gradually coming out of recession, but we have 29 million Nigerians that are unemployed. Inflation rate is at about 18% as of today. That is not doing well, and most Nigerians are unable to put food on the table for their children or pay school fees.
Right.
Most workers are not being paid salaries. As a matter of fact, if the states do not go to Abuja to beg for funds, they will be unable to meet salary requirements at their state level. That is not how to run a country. Component parts of a country cannot be going to beg for allocations to manage their states.
And
they should be self-sustaining. Okay. Now, let's go to the next one is national cohesion.
Yeah.
At no point in time in our national history have we had the component parts of Nigeria wanting to go their separate ways, except under Buhari. Buhari has shown gross insensitivity to our national structure, our national federal structure. He has concentrated appointments to people that are Hausas, that come from Katsina, that are Muslims. And the rest of Nigerians do not think that that is proper. Now, let's rate him on corruption. He promised that he will end corruption. So far, not good.
Even the money that's been, I keep hearing billions of dollars and naira that's been retrieved from people, from houses, from unnamed banks and all that. I can't see it. Where is it?
Well, he has given us assurance that he has about 500 billion that he has collected that he is going to use for as part of the budget. But Nigerians want to know who were the corrupt people. What punishment would they receive?
Okay.
What plans does he have to plug the corruption loophole?
Okay. Now you mentioned, let me quickly point out that to you. In terms of appointment, the federal government brought out appointments, the list of appointments, and it was revealed that it's tilted towards the southwest.
No. He is trying. You see, he is trying to justify their actions. Obasanjo didn't need to do that because things were apparent. Okay. Jonathan didn't need to do that because appointments were apparent. Mm-hmm. Right now, Buhari is doing it because there's a guilty conscience. The facts support.
Mr. Badewa, if there's this argument, what have you had to go to say about this argument that Buhari should not be entirely blamed because he surrounded himself with people he cannot control?
See,
is that an excuse?
This is what I was telling you earlier. Mm-hmm. That 5 political parties formed the alliance that brought Buhari into power. Mm-hmm. Right? Buhari wasn't even in control of the party. He doesn't even have the money to control even his own nomination.
Is that a legitimate excuse?
It's not a legitimate excuse, but we just have to try and look at where things has gone crooked.
We are telling Nigerians to go to sleep while Rome burns.
So Nigeria has been sleeping for a very long time. So now Buhari, he has to tread very carefully in order to bring the coalition so that he won't offend so many people. Look at what happened in...
at the expense of Nigeria.
It's not at the expense of Nigeria. Listen, you see what happened in the Senate, where Saraki violated all the party rules and he made himself Senate president.
Okay, there's this argument, Mr. Badewa. The head, uneasy like the head that wears a crown. If the head is corrupt, the body goes rotten.
Yeah.
Buhari is the president. If by his ways of movement and attitude, he has been firm that corruption will not be tolerated, it won't happen. What do you say to that argument?
You see, we're talking. Is he working on corruption at all? At least the TSA.
If he's not working on corruption, he has failed, right?
You see, not that he has failed. We might. Okay, now this is a man that spent almost 4 months, right, or 5 months, who was on a sick vacation. So many things can. How long has he been there?
That's an indices of failure.
You see, we know it's an indices of failure, but let me understand one thing.
Yes, sir.
This is a democracy. It's not a military rule. I know many Nigerians will use to military rule. Obasanjo was brought. You understand me? It's like they beg him.
Okay.
Come and rule.
Yeah, but he did well.
When he came in with force.
Okay.
In the first, all these people you were saying he jailed, he didn't do it the first year. You understand? This is a man that practically kneeled down
okay,
to beg,
Mr. Badewa,
Mr.
Badewa,
Atiku
Mr.
to
Badewa,
allow him to run.
Mr. Badewa.
Was it not when he got there the second time that he was able
body
to deal
language is a lot. Obasanjo was sworn in on May 29th, 1999.
Okay.
And 2 days after, all the military personnel that have served, that been in a political position, were retired. Yes. That's a strong statement that I'm here.
Because we were coming from a military rule.
But Buhari, for God's sake, is a military man.
Now we're talking. The military left in uniform. What about the constitution they left for us? Is it a civilian? Is it a democratic constitution?
All right,
they are still ruling.
Okay, Mr. Badewa.
So when they did the confab in 2014, and Jonathan didn't implement it, what are the Nigerians doing up to today?
Okay. And that's why he came. We gave him a chance because he came with the campaign, what do you call it? Change.
See,
and that's why Nigerians gave him a chance.
Nigeria has to wake
Otherwise,
up.
they will remain with Jonathan.
Nigeria has to wake up. We have to wake up. The issue of state going to Abuja to beg for money every month. It's a no. This is a federal system of government.
The governors can't do that alone. They can't do that alone.
The people, why is it democracy? Government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Okay.
So when are we going to implement that democracy we talk about?
All right.
It is Nigeria that have to implement it, not the government. No government want to serve you.
Finally, I also want to read the president on security.
Yes.
He has done poorly on security. He hasn't reined in Boko Haram. Boko Haram continues to bomb and claim Nigerian territory.
But this is not the way it was. This is not the way it was 3 years ago when Nigeria can't even gather.
Given the amount of
even in Abuja, have you heard any bomb in Abuja anymore?
Given the amount of resources dedicated towards defeating Boko Haram, given that the federal ministry of
Boko Haram has penetrated into Nigeria,
was relocated to Maiduguri 2 years down the line. If he has not won that war, then he is an he is an outright failure.
Sir,
now kidnapping
and Sri Lanka, how many years did they spend in fighting a guerrilla war?
Boko Haram is occupying
and don't forget, it is the desire of the people that brought Boko Haram. They asked for Sharia law. When there was no Sharia law, were there anything like Boko Haram?
We know, perhaps we will have a time to go to the history of Boko
Haram.
No,
see, this is a man who voted for, who promised that he will crush.
But this thing is not, the issue of Boko Haram, was it in a space of 2 years?
Then he shouldn't promise that.
Okay.
But I mean, he's doing something about it.
I want to thank you guys for, thank you, Mr. Obi, for the incisive comment, Mr. Badewa, for the stout defense of Buhari.
No, I'm not defending him, but I'm only being objective.
Yeah, very objective.
So I'm not defending him.
Exactly.
Our roads are still bad. There is no electricity. Kidnapping, schools are still very poor. People,
exchange rate is very high.
Yeah, exchange. Well, let that one be high.
Okay, so
let us
it is your take that Nigerians should work hard and put their government on their toes.
They should put them on their toes. In developing world, every day citizens are putting their government on their soul.
Well,
the structure we don't have to checkmark the essence of government in Nigeria is now we should put it in place.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Viewers, we'll be looking at the scorecard of President Muhammadu Buhari after 2 years in office. And that becomes more relevant when you remember that Buhari came to power promising change. And as a matter of fact, the thrust of his campaign is that corruption, if not completely checked, will be eliminated. But after 2 years, it behoves on us to give you a feedback. And my guests here have given that a trashing, I must confess. And I want to thank Mr. Obi for coming. We really appreciate you coming here. Mr. Badewa, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And I must say thank you to my producer behind the camera. I really appreciate that. Viewers will continue to commend you for standing with us. Meet us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm yours sincerely, Joe Ehizode, on Political Arena. My guests were really on the arena today. Have a good night. Bye-bye.